Now, if you have not been following what has become a highly flammable situation there, the tinderbox that is Dolphin football, perhaps not. There have been some new developments here. We start with wide receiver Tyreek Hill, who met with the media in the last 24-hour news cycle and has declared that he wants to remain in Miami. Miami. He reaffirmed his position despite the overwhelming frustration situation going on there and all the social media buzz and interacting and fueling the rumors of a potential trade after going radio silent following the latest debacle on the field. Tyreek Hill now, again, he is committed. I am there for you. I stand with the Dolphins. All right, so let us discuss, despite the rumors, again, Tyreek Hill saying that he is committed to the Dolphins. Where are you at on this one? So I have Lifeboat, charades, and Nick at Night. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a set of handcuffs. The Dolphin offense is in handcuffs. You know, they've scored 45 points all season. We're heading into week 5, and the Dolphins have 45 total points on the season. With Tyreek Hill on one side, Jalen Waddle on the other, a stable of running backs, 45 points. 45 points. All right, so first of all, we know that Tyreek, what he says and what he means are two different things, right? There is no loyalty. We understand that. The cheetah is the epitome of this. Remember, he was playing in Casablanca with the Chiefs there. Patrick Mahomes, the top quarterback in the NFL, a team that had won a championship. They had the Super Bowl pedigree roster there in Kansas City. And instead of going Jim Harbaugh and saying, who has it better than us? No. Tyreek Hill said, I want to quote that Rod Tidwell from that old movie, show me the money. Chiefs didn't want to pay him, so he went down to Miami, got paid. And so we are very confident, very, very confident that the Dolphins, since they've hit the iceberg now, Tyreek Hill would absolutely love a lifeboat to come down and rescue him and take him out somewhere where it's dry. The ship be sinking. The ship be sinking. Now, Miami finagled the contract. They adjusted it to give Tyreek more cash. How's that working out? And so in order for him to go back to Kansas City, they'd have to finagle the salary cap more. It's possible. Also keep an eye on some of these other teams that are in on Devontae Adams. Tyreek Hill, would he play for the Jets? How would he play in New York? How about, you look around. The problem is most of the teams that need wide receivers are AFC teams. Buffalo. That's unlikely. So that's where we are. But he had the temper tantrum that really fueled this even higher. On Monday Night Football, Hill was cartoonishly barking at someone on the Dolphins sideline, a Dolphin staffer. And then in true front-runner fashion, I'm a bad teammate, Tyreek did not speak to the assembled media after the game. He had the hissy fit and then was befuddled by what took place there, and he took off. So Tua Tagovailoa, even if he comes back, you're talking about him coming back week 8. We talked about that in a previous episode of the show. Even if Tua ends up coming back, it's not something you can trust. It's kind of like if you've ever had a car that's a piece of crap car where everything breaks on it, and then you get it back from the shop, and they're like, yeah, everything's fixed. You're good to go, right? Yeah, it's still a jalopy. It's something else that's going to fall apart. It might drive all right for a little while, but eventually something's going to break. So Miami, to phrase this differently for those of you in the back of the room, Miami is porked, right, for the foreseeable future. And so Tyreek Hill, he's going to age out by the time they get another quarterback in there, and so he would love to crawl while he's crying, crawl away. All right, secondly, we go to Carolina. Got Carolina on my mind. The Panthers, a terrible football team. We're getting close to the trade deadline. Panthers wide receiver Deontay Johnson, an ex-Pittsburgh Steeler. Deontay Johnson, his name has come up in rampant clickbait speculation as a possible fit for a team like the aforementioned Ravens or the Chiefs or somebody like that. But did you hear what Panthers coach Dave Canales said? He says he does not see that happening. He does not see that happening. So Dave Canales says that Carolina trading wide receiver Deontay Johnson is unlikely. Do you believe him? Sam, I am. Absolutely not. Dave Canales is a proven liar. All right. Remember, check your notes. He famously committed after a Sunday Panthers game, committed to Bryce Young as my QB1, continuing to develop him. That was the most important thing. Less than 24 hours, he was benched, sent to the Hoosgow. So these guys are always playing fast and loose with the truth. As a former NFL coach, Dennis Green back in the day said, well, we don't lie, but we take some stretches with the truth, right? We embellish some things and whatnot, and it's a never-ending game of charades, right? It's the spoken word is irrelevant. It really is. It's all about using hand signals and body motions to signal your plans and all that. Now, Deontay Johnson is not a reclamation project. He at this point, he's been around long enough. He's a mid-level NFL receiver, and he's not the reincarnation of Steve Smith. He's a serviceable receiver that occasionally will play above his ability, but mostly will be right where you expect him, 4 or 5 catches a game, and every once in a while he'll score a touchdown, and then that's about it. It's the kind of player that over the years has been regifted. You watch the NFL, you know, these kind of guys just get shuffled around to different teams, and that's how it works. Our final thought. I was going to talk about Ramondre Stevenson possibly being benched, but the Patriots are such a morbid team. I wanted to move away from that. How about Duval County? Speaking of morbid, the last team in the NFL that has not won a game, you know who that is. Yeah, Blake Bortles' old team, Jacksonville. The Jaguars, their head coach, Doug Peterson, responding to a published report indicating that it is persona non grata for Doug Peterson. Peterson remaining confident, he said, that the players on the Jacksonville football team are still listening to his messaging. Speaking to reporters, Peterson dismissed the very public reporting that said that he has lost the locker room. So, question. Coach Doug Peterson has denied that he's lost the locker room in Jacksonville. Is that how you see it? So here's how I see it. All right. What else is he supposed to say? Like, if he has lost the locker room, he can't say it. All right. And if he says it, he's fired. He'll likely be fired anyway. But Peterson is holding on to the job by the tips of his fingers at this point, right? The fingertips. And at this moment in the story, he's going Nick at Night, an old sitcom from back in the day, Nick at Night. He's going Hogan's Heroes, Sergeant Schultz. I see nothing, I hear nothing. Some version of that, right? And Peterson will lose the locker room the moment they fire his ass. Then he can say, I lost the locker room. But whether or not he has the locker room or not is inconsequential. It is. Because whether the players are listening or not, they suck. The team blows. They're 0-4, and you are what your record says you are, and they are LOSERS, losers.